Hello friends, in this episode we are going to continue building a mobile application using Ruby on Rails and TurboNative. So in the previous episode we learned about conditional logic, conditional rendering, so that we can have different HTML or different Ruby logic in the web view and the mobile application. And now we are going to add Strada into the mix of our application so that we can have native components in our mobile application that do not exist inside the normal browser. And we're going to add an example of a button component. So you see here I have the mobile application and here I have this image, and this is actually a button. I click on this button and it opens the edit user path. Now you see I don't have the user's email with a link here in the navbar, though I do have it in the web view. So here I click on this link and it takes me to edit the user. I don't have it visible on the mobile application. Instead, I'm hiding this button on the mobile application and I'm showing it here in the top right of the native part of our application. So how can I do this? Now, first of all, we need to install Strada. How do you install Strada? This is quite hard. So if you go to the Turbo iOS repository and open the demo application, you will see a folder named Strada, and it has a few Strada components: form, menu, and overflow, and bridge component that lists all of them. And Strada is kind of already installed in this demo application, but we are not using the demo application here. We have created a new application and we are using this TurboNavigator branch. And it has quite a special way of installing Strada. So installing Strada is not that easy. Now, I found my solution in the repository by joemasilotti named dailylog. So here he is using the latest version of TurboNavigator. And on top of this branch, we install Strada. So I found the code here. I went to iOS app, and here we have a few folders that are specific for installing Strada. Now, I'm not going to copy paste all the code in this video. You can either do it yourself by following the changes in the Git history for this episode, or you can just check out this branch. But I wouldn't copy paste, I would just check out this branch myself. So let's have a quick look at how the code is structured for making Strada to work. So first of all, I install Strada iOS package in my application. So here is my application, Tinder iOS, and here in package dependencies, previously I installed Turbo with the TurboNavigator branch, and also I added Strada with this GitHub URL and the branch main. So we install Strada. Looking for further, we create this bridge component, and in bridge component we create just one button component. So here we'll need to list all our native components. And we created this button component. Again, I took this button component as inspiration from the dailylog application. Here we have components, and here we have a button component. Going further, this web view controller is just a copy paste of just setup that we need to have. And this one is quite interesting. So in this turbo configuration file, we say that inside the user agent, we are also going to list all of the native components that we have here. So we are going to have the component name button, and we can double check it by going to our Rails application. And here we have request user agent. Let's uncomment it. I will refresh my web application. I see that we are using the web. I don't see the name of the component, but if I refresh a page in my mobile application, okay, let me refresh. Here you see I have this added bridge components button. So we are kind of communicating from our iOS application to our Rails application that the iOS application has a bridge component named button. So the iOS app is saying that this button component exists. And inside our Rails application, we need to have also a button component. So I have this button component inside the stimulus controllers inside a bridge folder. And you need to have a component in the Rails app and you need to have a component in the iOS app. So these two components work together. And what do I do? So here I can have a link. The link has the URL. A link can have an image and the placement either on the left or on the right, but it's better to place it just on the right. So the Rails app sends this to the iOS app, and the iOS app, if it sees that we are sending a button, then it displays the button here on top. So here in the application layout, I added data controller bridge button, the name of the image from the iOS images, and placement in the right. If I say left, then the button should be placed on the left. Let me try refreshing. You see, now it is on the left, but it is still on the right because it was cached. So maybe I can restart my iOS application. And I suppose I will see the button only on the left. Let's wait for it to start. Okay, so the app has relaunched and you see the icon is placed just here. Looks good. So yeah, this is the basic installation that we need to have Strada working in an application that uses TurboNavigator branch. I have the stimulus controller for the button. I have the Swift component for the button that work and communicate between each other. And also another thing that I needed to do is install Strada inside the Rails application. To do this, I ran the command bin import map bin hotwire Strada inside the Rails applications folder. And now basically the web application works just as it worked before, but inside the iOS application, if a page has a button with the data controller bridge button with a valid image, then it's going to place it in the native header. Also, if you're going to use different iOS images, you will need to install the app locally SF icons. So this app has a list of all possible icons that you could use inside the iOS. You don't need to like have your own icon assets. You just can use the iOS icons. They have quite a big library. So yeah, that's basically it. We have installed Strada. Again, I did it based on the way it is installed in this daily log application. And we added a button component